1-800-449-8255. It's Wednesday, September 27, 2023, 18 a.m. or something. And welcome to the scary, ghouly, evil Tales from the Sharky Crypt. All the topics are on the table today, you guys. A bunch of topics. I'm not going to say all the topics of planet Earth or even that relevant. But topic number 1, Shark heard a demon once. It's true, you guys. Topic 2, affiliates rip you off online. That's key, you guys, important. I gotta tell you about that one. Topic 3, Shark knows a lot from being alone. Topic number 4, you should actually love Shark. Topic number 5, the Daily Double. And topic number 6, planes are always dangerous. Always in parenthesis, of course. Ooh, there's the little mouse cursor thing. Look at it move, Sharky. Now, once when I was, maybe 6 or 7 years old, this is kind of legend in the South Bay too, around Torrance, Redondo Beach, even to this very day. I told a tale at Parkway School when I was just a little kid, 6, 7, 8 years old, and the teacher got wind of it, even the principal, everybody, and they're like, Sharky's probably bipolar, or maybe he's being abused. That's all probably true, but I did hear a demon beside all the other things. But topic number 1, you guys. One night, I fell asleep in the garage at 251. It was about 3 or 4 in the morning. The whole house was dark, of course. Everybody was asleep. And nothing was stirring, not even a mouse, or even a little fellow tucked warm in his bed. They later called him Klaus. That's me, Sharkadoodle-Doo, 1-800-449-8255 from the fabulous golden EIB Sharker phone, where I'm telling you about the time Sharky may have accidentally or maybe purposefully heard a demon in the garage at 251 Paseo de Gracia, Redondo Beach, 90277. It's actually Torrance is the map, but as I explained previous, we were led to believe, or we grew to believe, we were from Redondo Beach on that street, Paseo de Gracia. It begins and ends on Pacific Coast Highway. And within the circle, or the half circle that is Paseo de Gracia, is El Retiro Park of Torrance, not Redondo Beach, infamously where the Greenhouse Effect would play, in the rotunda a couple of times at least. I remember a little impromptu jam, or I don't remember if it was an official gig I threw, but we definitely played in Ted. Rick Carmody, the red-haired guy in the videos. His bedroom was right by the library there, at El Retiro Park parking lot. And the Greenhouse Effect got their beginnings, their humble beginnings, if you will. Phil Keegan had his Strat and his Les Paul and his Fender twin reverb, and we would just crank out the most incredible rehearsals. They were really like concerts, though, you guys, at Rick Carmody's house. I think he lived at 136 Vista del Parque, which was the little street that wrapped around El Retiro Park there in Torrance. But enough about GE. You guys watch plenty of that online. I do appreciate it though, you guys, but I want to talk about this demon that I heard at 251 Paseo de Gracia, which of course is the next street up from the park. You go up that hill, I think it's called Via Buenaventura. It's a really steep hill. And I fell down skateboarding there once. It was really violent, right on my face. It had cuts all over my face. And this kid lived around the corner was making fun of me. He said, like, you got the speed wobbles, Higgins, or something. I'll never forget that. That kid is probably dead now because he made the mistake of looking in the direction and saying anything negative at Clark the Shark. And as we all know, you don't even want to think bad about Clark the Shark because I'm like talking Tina, that doll. And there is a trail of dead people. When it comes to me, yours truly, your humble DJ, MC, servant, whatever I am, Clark the Shark, from the Golden EIB Sharkerphone. Topic number 1, Shark heard a demon once. Now, anyway, let's get back to the story. Late at night at 251, I fell asleep in the garage. And the garage, we actually turned into a TV room with couches. And sometimes people would just fall asleep out there at 251. Little sidebar here. I keep seeing the number 251 everywhere for like the past 3 years. You know how they say there's angel numbers, or, you know, in my case, it might be demon numbers. I don't know, but some people say, well, Shark, that's your parents, you know, Gary and Joanne trying to communicate with you. I'm like, well, you know, you don't need to send me 251 today. You could have just loved Clark the Shark a long time ago. And they're all, Sharky, you know your mom loved you. Well, she did. I mean, I don't know about him. At 1-800-449-8255, a Sharkadoodle-Doo show. But anyway, I want to talk about this demon at 251 Paseo de Gracia in the garage at about 3:30 a.m. Let's be precise here. Maybe it was 3:37 a.m. One night in, 1971, maybe 1972, when Clark the Shark was 6 or 7 years old. I was a real young, small little guy. Fell asleep in that room, you know, watching TV. Someone turned the TV off, so I woke up in just pitch black in the room. There wasn't even a nightlight. There was just nothing. And I didn't even know where I was. Like, I was just fully disoriented in the dark on the couch, woke up, and I know I was all alone. You know, nobody could possibly have known I was there or saw me. Or who knows, maybe my brother Jeff calculated the whole thing. He's pretty cunning like that. Or maybe Huck, who knows. But anyway, this is how I interpret it and I remember it. Topic number 1, Shark heard a demon once. I lay there on the couch on my back looking up at what was the ceiling of the garage. Of course, it was pitch black. I couldn't really see. Maybe there was a little light out in the kitchen and the door might have been slightly open. So I had a little confidence that maybe, you know, there's a light on out in the kitchen. The door that connects the garage to the house, you know, those, you know, the door from, you get out of your car, you go in that little door into your kitchen. Yeah, we had like that, but it was connected to our laundry area, like the washer dryer. That was the room that was, you know, at our house. I'm sure a lot of houses do this. But the door was open. There's a little light out there somewhere. Clark the Shark, age 6 or 7, was laying there. And I lay there for maybe 5 minutes in the dark, and I got the sense that I was all alone. But who knows, maybe unbeknownst to me, my brother woke me up going, Sharky, Sharky. And then I woke up and, you know, I don't remember him saying that or doing that. I was just laying there in the dark. I don't know, but to the best of my memory and to the best of my knowledge, I was just laying there, you guys. And this is going to be really scary, you guys, the sound I'm about to make. So a little disclaimer here. You might want to shut off your YouTube, turn your volume down, because You remember that movie Ghost, Patrick Swayze, Demi Moore, those little demons that come and get you and take you to hell? Remember how in the movie they looked all cheesy and fake, like phony? But I get the feeling that demons really are like the movie Ghost. They're these funny looking, cheesy black skulls and skeletons, and just like Halloween, like they're really evil. Now, that night, I didn't actually see this demon, but this is what I heard, you guys. It went like that, but even more scary. It was like it was like high pitched, and it had like some effect on it, like reverb. It sounded like it was going through an amplifier, and I was like, literally in an instant, I went from just laying there kind of scared because I'm a little kid to just being petrified, and I couldn't even move. I remember there was a full maybe 15 seconds where I was paralyzed, and I could actually feel like electricity go through the whole room and through my body. I couldn't move. I wanted to get up and run, but I couldn't. I remember I was like, it was maybe the first and last time that ever happened where I was so scared I couldn't move, you guys. I was laying there on the couch on my back. Good thing it wasn't completely dark, as I remember. There's a little light out in the kitchen, but the kitchen's kind of far away, so the light was just enough so I could just barely see. And then I finally got up and ran, and I remember my legs were running, but my upper body was just holding on for the ride. I don't know if you guys have ever experienced that, but when you're really scared, where your legs start going, like your brain commands your legs to run, but your upper body didn't get the memo or the signal. And I remember my legs were running and pulling me, but my head, from the waist up, my chest, my ribs, my arms were just kind of flailing backwards like I was going to fall, but my legs didn't care. They were just running full speed out of that garage. And I remember I ran through the little washing machine room, then through the kitchen, and into my parents' bedroom. And the door was shut, I remember, and I beat on the door at first. Because the door sometimes is locked, my parents are doing stuff in there, that's another video, you guys. But in this case, it's the middle of the night. They're just asleep in there. And I pushed on the door once, even knowing that all you got to do is turn the doorknob. And then I did turn the doorknob, and the door was locked. They had this little weird lock at the top of the door, back in the 70s, how parents had that. And I didn't care. I just kept beating and kicking on that door. And then I'm just a little kid, 6 or 7, and I beat in that door. That's how strong I was. And that's how scared I was in that moment, you guys. This door is probably a door like an adult would have trouble kicking it in or beating that little lock at the top. And yet I did it somehow. I was that scared. In the dark, in this house, 251 Paseo de Gracia, Spanish tile house. I'm sure many of you remember it, in the South Bay, Redondo, Torrance, Palos Verdes, etc. Anyway, I got into the room, and my dad, was asleep, but it was like he was just waking up. And I said, "Dad, there's a man in the garage." And my dad immediately got up, and he grabbed either a broom or a baseball bat. I don't remember, but me and my dad ran back to the garage, and my dad was like, "Stay here, don't stay behind." And I didn't care. I was like, I had to find out what that was, and I was behind my dad. I had the confidence of, my dad, he's going out there, and I'm going to just be slightly behind him or whatever. And we both went into the garage. And first thing I noticed was, the windows, which are often open, were closed that night. There were these little windows that we always kept open for some reason. But on this night, they were closed. And me and my dad stood there, and my dad had a weapon with him, either, I think it was a baseball bat. I can't remember, but he was like, what exactly did you hear? And I said, I heard like a demon sound, like a hideous laugh or an evil, I don't know. And I'll never forget, my dad looked at me and he's like, there's no one here. You probably heard a ghost. And we looked around that whole room. My dad turned the lights on. There's nobody there. There's just nothing. And we went back in this little cubby hole, like corner where people go back behind this thing and they get dressed. We thought maybe my brother Jeff was hiding back there, or maybe my brother Doug, or it could have been anybody. It could have been, who knows? It could have been a neighbor who poked his head in the window and then ran away. But one thing I'll never forget about this is my dad got right up out of bed, almost as if he expected me to come barging in the room like that. And I don't remember if my dad was halfway on his feet and running past me as I came around his bed, and I was all, Dad, there's a man. But he was dead ass asleep, sound asleep, and he got right up and ran out there. And then later he told me, I had a dream someone broke in the house, like a devil or a monster. And I was like, really, Dad? And he's like, yeah. And I was all, because I remember you got right up, and it's like you were ready in advance. And he's like, yeah, I have bad dreams. But anyway, we went out there, we searched the room. There's nothing, you guys. We checked all the doors, like the door that goes out of the backyard. It was closed. It wasn't locked, and we didn't hear anyone go running out. And this wasn't a long process. I would say the whole thing where I heard this sound to where I ran to my dad, and then my dad and me came back to the garage, was literally maybe 20 seconds or 25 seconds or less than that even. It was pretty quick. So if somebody did this, they were really clever. I mean, it's possible. It's probably just my brother Jeff. But we didn't hear any doors slam. We didn't hear anyone running or see anyone running or hear any evidence that someone was hiding and did this. And then there's always the question or the thought, like, I'm in the dark. Who's going to even know, I'm there, or I'm awake or asleep or whatever, But I think to this day, you guys, I heard an actual demon. I'm not kidding, you guys. I do believe that. Me, Clark the Shark, at 1-800-449-8255. And my dad, for many years, believed it too. He kind of forgot about it over time, but I do remember when he was getting old, I said, Dad, you remember that? And he would always say, it was probably Jeff or Doug, but you may have had an experience, Sharky. And I was like, yeah, Dad, I remember. But this was something that me and my dad kind of bonded over, a very rare thing, because we didn't bond that much. And sometimes I think to this day, did God send this moment just special ordered for me and my dad? That moment where Shark heard a demon once in the garage. Topic number 1, right here on the Clark the Shark Show on Wednesday at 11:36 a.m., September 27. You just heard a tale, a ghoulish, it was so scary, an evil little goblin tale from the Sharky Crypt, everyone. Believe me, if you've ever heard one of these in your house, I'm sure it's people won't admit it, because they don't want to, people don't want people, to think you're crazy. Me, Clark the Shark, I could care less. I really heard this. And I asked my brother Jeff and Doug over the years, and they said, no, it wasn't us. We never did that. It could have been some weird kid in the neighborhood poking his head in the window, and then he shut the windows from the outside really quick. It could have been that, but I would imagine we would have heard, seen, or there would have been some evidence. You know me, Clark the Shark, I'm always looking for witnesses, evidence, proofs, facts, concrete things you can lean on. And that night, you guys, I found none. Right here on the Clark the Shark Show. If you ever heard a ghost or a demon really make an audible laugh or an evil thing like that, I want you to email me at clahagin@aol.com, right here on the Clark the Shark Show. It could also be God's way of saying, see, Sharky, I exist and I make bad entities. And I'm always like, well, God, what is this all for? Wars, World War One, the Crusades, Napoleon, Lincoln being shot, Kennedy being shot, Iraq, Vietnam, everything, Lord. What's all the evil, violence, and scary stuff for in the world? And he's like, because I got to scare you guys, Sharky. I got to test you to make sure you believe. And I'm like, I mean, you could have just made heaven and I'd be a happy angel just being a rock star in front of a crowd or something. And he's like, no, you got to earn it, Sharky. I got to throw scary things at you. Like Willy Wonka, like you're Charlie and you got to pass the test and, the everlasting gobstopper and, all that. And the old grandpa's like, I'm going to tell Slugworth. I'm like, sometimes God telling Slugworth or not telling him, I wonder if it's just all the same thing, or maybe something I don't know. Maybe they are completely different right here on the Clark the Shark Show, and maybe I got to learn and get my ass kicked some more. Maybe that demon tried hard to get through to me that night in 1972 or that morning, whatever that was. And, when I think of this incident, you guys, I also think of my dad, Gary B. Higgins. What a writer. He wasn't much of a dad to me, but he did go to a couple of my GE gigs, I remember, reluctantly. But I remember it really didn't make me happy or sad, or there was just no emotion at all. I was like, finally, the dude showed or something. But this moment here is special because my dad he was there for me. He didn't know if there was a burglar or a robber or a rapist, or he didn't know what was in that garage, but he got up and grabbed a bat. And he even said, stay behind to me, like as if to say, I could be attacked and I don't want you to be attacked, Sharky. I never forgot it, you guys. I heard a demon scream in the night, but what I remember about it is me and my dad. Right here on the Clark the Shark Show. 1-800-449-8255. And I remember it for God too, because God's like, I gotta send evil, Sharky. It's the only way to get through to you. And I'm like, whatever, God. There's probably better ways to get through to Sharkadoodle-Doo. Clark the Shark, right here on the golden EIB Sharkerphone. It's not a microphone, you guys, I swear to God. I speak into a solid gold EIB Sharkerphone. It's built by God, the Lord, the Holy Spirit, or whatever they are, dude. The Lord's like, I use software, Sharky. I use programs to build everything in the universe, including you, Sharky. Even that demon, I made him out of software. And I'm like, Lord, you don't need to use software. You could have used anything. You could have just snapped your finger. And he's like, no, I want it to seem like it makes sense, Sharky, so all of you humans will study it. You'll study DNA and molecules and cells, the nucleus and the nuclei and the atom and the quark. And you'll see that I exist when you study them all. And I'm like, God, it doesn't matter, because liberals are never going to believe in you. Even if they learn about the atom or the quark or a demon or a UFO or a dinosaur or oxygen or nitrogen or, astronomical quantum physics, they don't care. They hate you, Lord. And the Lord's like, I don't know, Sharky, maybe you hate me. And I'm like, I don't hate you, Lord. We just agree to disagree about a lot of stuff. I want to love you. God, I do. Right here on the Clark the Shark Show. And if you were sending me that demon to get through to me and that's your way, then I'm good with it. If that's the best you could do, or even if that's a thing you did, a little, thing to roll out. Like, here, Sharky, check out this at 1-800-449-8255. God, if that's your way, if that's your plan, I don't know if I accept it or I tolerate it, but whatever. I'll just have to roll with it, people, right here on the Sharkadoodle-Doo Show, 1-800-449-9255, from that fabulous golden EIB Sharkerphone. That's right. Clark the Shark, the Wolfman Jack on crack. Tales from the Sharky Crypt. And topic number 2, affiliates rip you off online. Now, I don't know, a lot of you on the internet are sitting there every night. You want to make money on the internet, so you sign up with Amazon Associates. You run traffic to their link, and then they make maybe $20,000, $30,000 off you. It even says right there in your stats, and then they delete you and say you violated our rules. Now, Amazon Associates isn't the only one that does this. In topic number 2, affiliates rip you off online. Booking.com, I discovered, does this exact same thing. And a bunch of other ones who I won't name, crypto ones, etc. And they always come back at me with a clever, snarky email saying, well, Sharky, you can't use Google ads, you can't use web traffic, you can't intentionally get clicks to our links. If you do that, then we're going to ban and delete you. And then they're kind of vague. They're like, well, we did make money off you, Sharky, but we don't have to pay you that money because you did it wrong, Sharky. They're kind of like God. God's like, well, Sharky, you prayed to me and you begged forgiveness and mercy, but you did it wrong. I wanted you to go to church and confession and Holy Communion and jump through fire hoops and do a pole vault and then drop and give me 200 and then say your prayers, Sharky. And I'm like, no, God, I'm 58 years old with skin cancer. I can barely walk. I'm not going to drop and give anyone 50 unless they're like break into my house and they put a gun to my head. That's the only way I'm going to drop and give anyone 50, Lord, at 1-800-449-8255. And the affiliates are like, well, Sharky, fine. We're just not going to pay you the money. You did earn. And I'm like, to a judge or to a cop or to a lawyer, can they do that? Can they? And they're like, yeah, Sharky, or you could try suing them, but you won't win. You know how you always hear that? Like, you can try suing them, maybe take them to small claims court. Now, me, Clark the Shark, I have done that. I have taken many a person to small claims court, hoping that they won't show. But what's really weird and ironic is often they do show, and they show up in court lying, telling lies, if you will, about one, yours truly, Clark the Shark, right here from the golden EIB Sharkerphone, not a microphone. And the judge senses their lies, and Sharky wins. So who knows? I might be able to sue Booking.com, Amazon Associates, or, I won't name the others, you guys. There's a lot of others. And there's one called Viator on there right now, and they're trying to do this. They're at the top of every search, and they're hoping that you will become an affiliate and make them a bunch of money so they can ban, delete, and cancel you, and then send you an email explanation telling you how you did it wrong at 1-800-449-8255. And it's your fault, Sharky. And it's your fault, too, affiliate marketer out there, because you did it wrong. Even if you did it right, what are the odds of you putting a link on your blog or your website and someone clicking on it and really buying shit from it, people? I mean, those odds are beyond astronomical. I mean, you'd have to have one hell of a website. You'd have to have like a porno website or something. Or wait a minute, I got an idea here. Me, Sharkadoodle-Doo, I'll just get into porn. Yeah, at 1-800-449-8255. And God's like, no, Sharky, don't do that. Stick to Amazon. And topic number 3, Shark knows a lot from being alone a lot. Topic 3, a lot of people are like, Sharky, how do you know so much about music? And I'm like, dude, growing up in Redondo Beach and Torrance, I didn't have a lot of friends. I would listen to music down in the room at 251 Paseo de Gracia. And there's some people like, I remember you hanging out with friends, Sharky. I remember you had buddies just like we all did. You hung out with that guy Dave, or, you hung out with that guy Carl, or you hung out with Jeff, or, I'm like, well, everyone knows someone at 1-800-449-8255. But let's just say Sharkadoodle-Doo had a lot of time on his hands, sort of like that Stick song, Too Much Time on Shark's Hands. I had a lot of time, you guys, to listen to Zappa and the Hollies, and dude, the Remains and the Standells and the Who and the Beatles and, Lou Reed and, Black Flag and the Germs and all kinds of shit. I mean, come on. My whole room was like a shrine of vinyl records, and people today are like, Sharky, you're not vinyl enough to be a record reviewer. And I'm like, dude, you weren't even born when you were born in 1998. I had my vinyl collection in 1979 when I was 14, and it was growing, baby. And people are like, it doesn't matter. I still know more than you, Sharky, because I'm indie. And I'm like, dude, you're a fucking indie. I listened to Black Flag in 1981 when I was 16, and they're like, really, Sharky? I'm like, yeah, really, at 1-800-449-8255. So keep that in mind. Shark knows a lot, and often more than you, from being alone a lot. Sharkadoodle-Doo, 1-800-449-8255. So being alone is kind of a good thing, you guys. It's very gifted and beautiful thing to be handed to you by God, because you can sit down in your room like I did at 251 Paseo de Gracia and listen to Frank Zappa records, and you'll grow up to be this super smart, brainy, intellectual genius like Clark the Shark, who just sits here talking into a golden EIB Sharkerphone at age 58 at 1-800-449-8255. Sharkadoodle-Doo Show. You should actually love Shark. Topic number 4 today, Wednesday, September 27, 2023. Now, there's this thing where people gather everywhere, whether my family and friends and 251, Paseo de Gracia, Torrance, and the people, Redondo Beach, Torrance. I shouldn't say friends or family, because I feel like I had neither. But they always gather and they're like, Shark is weird. That guy's really lives in his own little world. That's what they say. They're like, they don't say, we really love Shark. He's artistic and beautiful. They're always like number 4. They're like, we don't actually love Shark. He's weird. He keeps to himself. He's kind of esoteric and kind of weird at 1-800-449-8255. And then if I ever object, they're like, oh, well, then he's an asshole. He's a real jerk, that Sharky, at 1-800-449-8255. They never say anything like, Shark will give you the shirt off his back, like he's generous. He gives money. He buys things for everyone, which is really the reality, you guys. Ever since 1965, they don't really say Shark is tight, or he's greedy, or he's Jewish or any of that. They are always like, Clark's an idiot. If you need money, go to that idiot Sharky. He'll give you a fucking shirt off his back. And when they're not saying that, they're like, fuck Shark, he's an asshole. Or they're saying, he's weird, so... I'll break down number 4 into subcategories. People are saying Shark's weird and esoteric and strange. They don't really say, they don't want to say I'm a good singer, guitarist, drummer, songwriter, or any of that. They just say he lives in his own little world and he's weird. And when they're not saying that, they're like, oh, he's an asshole. He's a real jerk, and people don't like him because he's antisocial. Okay, so I forget the third one, but they're like, oh, but if you need anything, you go to Sharky the Sucker. He's the type of retard that buys, 3 houses or some shit at 1-800-449-8255, you guys. That's right. If you need a sucker, you go to Sharkadoodle-Doo, 1-800-449-8255. When all along, number 4, you should just actually love Shark. the way he is for who I am. Quit enlightening me and trying to improve me and make me like you. Because I would rather be generous and nice and buy all of you food and pizzas, fix your plumbing, pay to have a body shipped from Ohio out of my own pocket, pay your taxes, your property taxes, buy you more food, and be a kind and loving guy that comes up, hi, everyone, I'm Sharky. And you guys are like, fuck you, we hate you. I'd rather take the high road and be Shark, who's generous, nice, and sweet. And I'll just leave it at number 4. You should shut your fucking mouths, South Bay, and you black people too, Gardena or Athens, wherever. And just leave it at number 4 topic. You should actually just love Shark and leave it at that. And quit trying to improve me and come around and advise me and get all mad at me when suddenly I don't want to just be your simp or your little troll serf anymore. When you can't have that, you're like, well, damn it, I'm going to get mad at Shark then. Right here on the Sharkadoodle-Doo Show, 1-800-449-8255. But remember, you guys, number 4 has a B, C, and a D. You guys should learn by now. You know Shark by his trail of dead. That's right. That takes me back to number 1 in that demon, you guys. Maybe that demon was like, I'll back you, Sharky. And if anyone messes with you, they're messing with me at 1-800-449-8255. Because I can name 12 names of people right now. I'm not going to name the names, you guys, but they are dead. They're not injured, you guys. They're dead, D-E-A-D, deceased. And they're all people that said mean things at Sharky in my presence or maybe behind my back. I don't know. And I don't want them to be dead, you guys. I want them to be rich, fat, and happy, I don't want any bad to come to people. But if you do mess with Shark, a doodle-doo, remember, you should actually just love Shark. Topic number 4, because this demon right here, number 1, that I heard in 1971, 72, when I was 6, 7 years old, this demon who once came looking for Shark, well, he might come looking for you right here on the Clark the Shark Show, 1-800-449-8255. And topic number 5, the Daily Double. You guys just won bonus points today on the Shark Show, all of you. You get a free pizza. You might get a plumbing job done at your house. I might even loan you money. You can call me at, well, don't call me, but you can email me at CLAHAGIN@AOL.com if you need money or anything. Because number 5, topic 5, the Daily Double means Shark's in a generous mood right now. And you can email me at CLAHAGIN@AOL.com. And I may or may not give you money. And remember, with Shark, it's not a loan. I gift you. Sometimes I come looking for it back, but I know you're never going to give it back. And you think you're clever and cute by running away from Shark with Shark's money. And I will admit, I've done this too. I'm not perfect in the past, but I don't do it as often as you, right here on the Sharkadoodle-Doo Show, 1-800-449-8255. And topic number 6, planes are always dangerous. Remember that, you guys. When you fly on a plane, you're not connected to the earth, and usually just 2 or 3 pilots up there, or maybe 1 or 2, are the only thing in between you and a mountain German wings or, 9/11. Whatever way your plane perishes, always remember topic number 6. Planes are always dangerous. Right here on the Clark the Shark Show. You could just be flying along and the pilot suddenly has a heart attack and dies, kind of like that guy who suddenly figured out quickly how to fly a King Air plane, remember that guy on YouTube? Google that one, you guys. It's fucking insane. Right here on the Clark the Shark Show, where you get logic, astronomical physics, quantum mechanics. You get everything, baby. And if you're on the other side, say hi to Buddy Holly, the Big Bopper, Patsy Cline. Dude, Kobe Bryant, that's a helicopter, not a plane, but kind of like a plane. Dude, Stevie Ray Vaughan. So many people, dude. Richie Valens. Dude, I love Richie. Say goodbye to all of them, you guys, because planes are always dangerous. I think that demon told me that, Sharky. Number one, Shark heard a demon once. He's like, Sharky, I'm just letting you know, don't get on no planes because they're dangerous. And number two, affiliates rip you off online always. They are a scam, so don't sign up with one. They'll never pay you. You'll make them a bunch of money using SEO and web traffic, and they'll take your $40,000, and they'll never pay you. But remember, affiliate company, you will know Clark the Shark by his trail of dead. That's right, because when people mess with Sharkadoodle-Doo, I won't come hurt you. Not me, dude. I'm not non-violent, very passive and genteel here. But this demon right here, number one, Shark heard a demon once. He might not be non-violent and passive like a Sharkadoodle-Doo right here at 1-800-449-8255. And topic number three, Shark knows a lot from being alone a lot. I don't even need to elaborate or explain upon that one. I don't even need to embellish there, people. Number four, you should actually love Shark. So right now in 2023, if you're saying anything bad about Shark, even if you say I'm esoteric or I live in my own little world or Shark's weird or Shark's a sucker because he's always giving us money and we just laugh at him, remember, death follows you and stalks you, much like your shadow, right here on the Clark the Shark Show. Because topic number four, you should always actually love Shark. And when you do, you will be free of all the earth's shackles, hurdles, everything. Until you do that, you are not free because you're making fun of Sharkadoodle-Doo and you're probably making fun of others too. Let's be perfectly frank and honest here, people. That's what you do. Right here on the Sharky Show, where at the Daily Double, Sharky will loan you money and give you everything. And I don't even want the money back, you guys. I don't even care if I live under a freeway bridge or, I have a mattress under a freeway, because I will be okay wherever I go, even if I'm not okay. But you might end up on a plane flying somewhere right here on the Clark the Shark Show, where the whole world is the Clark the Shark Show. And it's a dangerous world, you guys. 1-800-449-8255. You know that Jesse Waters, how he's like, this is my world. This is my world. The whole planet Earth is the Matrix, and Shark is therein. And as long as that's the case, and as long as I heard this demon, and me and my dad went out to that room, we looked and searched and we found nothing, you guys. But as long as that's the case, right here on the Sharkadoodle-Doo Show, you got big problems with me. And you got big problems with God.